Hey Exals, how's it going? Zot here, and I've got an update for you on the Strength Tracker project I've been working on. I did some mapping, made some money, did some crafting, and got my strength up to 2605. I crafted an upgrade for my amulet. I awakened or orb together the attribute suffixes and really lucked out. Hit, unfortunately, tier 3, but hey, I'll take it, tier 3 all attributes. And that was easy enough to finish with lock suffix, veiled chaos, and then just craft. I crafted a new boom mace because I made these swap over to replica Alberons. So now this doesn't have the fire stacking mod because I don't have original sin, but we have AoE, AoE, and then chaos pen prefix. I will actually go over how to craft maces like this a little bit later. It's pretty easy. You need, I don't know, 6, maybe 10 divines if you get unlucky, but it's fairly deterministic. I moved my tree around a little bit, decided to get rid of life nodes because who really needs them, and just go for strength and another cluster down here. Sent some chaos. I opted to get the balance of terror. Then I was also able to get a pretty good deal on one of these Emperor's Masteries. So overall the character is feeling really good. I also decided to just swap over to Static Strike because I realized my with the Pride here has 5% strength on the skill effect duration node, so why not? And following the trend, I do love those auto bomber style builds, and as you saw in the clips before, it's really just click once, run through the map, and everything dies. It's pretty fantastic. All right, let's see. So rest of the gear is pretty much the same. I am using Whispers of Doom just because I have Assassin's Mark, and then Despair. Despair is really big damage. You just can't get a lot of Chaos Pen, so that makes a big difference. So I have the Flask for mapping, and then Self-Cast will trigger my Balance of Terror. But then also, if I would just want to use Tanky Flask, I can use that on bosses because you really don't need Wither elsewhere. Okay, let's go over how to craft some of these items. Okay, so you're going to need to get an item like this. You just you get two bases, roll these mods individually, and then slam them together. So in an ideal situation, you will have the two uh, implicit, or not implicit, influenced suffixes with one open and then one open prefix. So you'll go suffixes can't be changed, harvest, reforge, crit. And depending how much money you want to spend, you can do this over and over until you get a high roll. But because we're playing Static Strike, attack speed actually isn't super important. If you wanted, you could do the same thing. You could just reforge speed, and then you can, luckily land something like this. So say we wanted to proceed with this. Now we managed to have our two influence suffixes and then one good either attack or crit one. So we'll just keep going with suffixes can't be changed. And this time we reforge chaos because there's only 2 or 3 chaos mods you can get as a prefix with hunters, and it's either flat chaos, chaos and pen, or there's one that's a brick. It's the damage multi. So let's just see here. Okay, so in this case it was a brick. We hit the poison one, so go again, and then honestly you could stop here because the flat damage really isn't that important because you're getting all of your damage from your boots. So you really just want the chaos pen, and then +1 is whatever. But then since you would just go just craft on spell damage, and you're pretty much done. So I mean, if we compare something like this to my mace and pob, yeah, it's basically the same, and that only took Six maybe or six maybe eight suffixes can't be changed rerolls. So if you're interested in playing a different version of Strength Stacker, not using Paradoxica, this is really fun because the Boom Mace has 300% damage effectiveness, so it scales really hard with all that, either with the chaos damage, and then of course you can play this as fire, so it just scales really well with all the flat added damage you can get. And then when you use shockwave, shockwave has a really big AoE, and then the fiery impact can trigger at the edge of the shockwave, really giving you insane multi-screen clearing capability. And the other way, if you're crazy, is you can get a double influenced and then essence roll suffix until you hit AoE. But I got insanely lucky doing that, and I would not recommend doing it that way. You're much better off going for either reforged speed or reforged crit, depending on which is more important to you. This is the mace I have now. Honestly, I am probably going to try to recraft this so I can get rid of that dead suffix, but just for testing purposes so far, this is going really well. I'm using power charge on crit just for more consistent power charges, increase crit damage, and then pulverize. So this takes my fiery impact. It doesn't look like much there, but in pop it's like over a mil. It's pretty awesome. Then a couple other things is when you're playing static strike, you're definitely going to want at least +1 strikes somewhere. Just really makes the build feel a lot better. It can kind of be clunky otherwise. And then, yeah, I think that was the only thing I changed besides this amulet and then the stuff on the tree. But overall, really loving this character. There's still a lot further we can take it. And yeah, it's just fun. The chaos damage is a blast. It's clean, it's clear, scales super hard. But yeah, now I'm going to be working mainly on getting better charms and saving for Emperor's Might, as I think the other one. So I can replace this jewel here, and that'll be big. That'll be really big. All right, well, thanks for watching, everyone. Give it a hand. I mean, this is probably one of the best leagues to try crafting, just because money is so, cheap and usable. It's honestly very easy to craft really strong pieces for your build as long as you're willing to, you know, have that 6 to 8 div for suffix or prefix locking. Especially with double influenced items, it's pretty hard now, but if you can line up 2 good prefixes or 2 good suffixes, it really makes it a lot easier to finish, getting at least semi the mods you want. So thanks for watching, thanks for liking, subscribing, commenting, and see everybody next time.